and it demands the full attention of everyone in the courtroom. Imagine how you'd feel, what you'd think, that during a witness's testimony, my cell phone would ping. During my closing statement, I decided to take a phone call, putting everyone in the courtroom on hold. What happens in the courtroom sometimes really matters. It affects people's lives. Like in this case today, you are being asked to weigh the evidence in a homicide case. If convicted, the defendant faces a prison sentence. What happens here today deserves the full attention of everyone in the courtroom. You'd think the same would go for everyone who uses their cell phone in their car when they roll the dice and text while they drive, or when they speed, or when they permit any other distraction while they're behind the wheel. That's what today's case is about. The defendant in this case is being charged with manslaughter. He, Danny DeLuca, was the driver in a car that went head-on with another car last night. The driver in the other car, a woman named Vivian Villanueva, died. DeLuca was texting while driving. You'll hear from 6 witnesses in today's trial, with 3 being called by each of the prosecution and by the defense. They are the Chinook County Sheriff's Department officer who managed the scene of the accident, Officer Cole. 2 high schoolers, both passengers in the defendant's car the night of the accident. 2 traffic accident investigation and reconstruction professionals. And the defendant, Danny DeLuca. The one person you'll hear about today, but whom you won't hear, is the victim, Vivian Villanueva. Through other witnesses, you'll learn some things about her. Everyone called her Miss B. Altogether, the witnesses will tell you this story. Last May 12th, the defendant and his 2 friends were on their way to meet up with other friends east of town. The defendant himself will admit that he suggested they all play a game called Tex Roulette. You know, like the roulette people play in casinos, or even Russian roulette. That game's just played with handguns. The road on which the defendant was driving that night, River Road, is known to be a death trap, even for more experienced drivers. It was on that road that the defendant went head-on with a car driven by the victim, Miss Villanueva. She died. Officer Cole, the first CCSD officer who reached the crash site, will describe what she found. 2 vehicles, horribly smashed up, with debris all over the road. Miss Villanueva was still behind the wheel of her Volkswagen Rabbit, bleeding profusely and near death. The last part of that night that you will hear about is Officer Cole's encounter with the 3 teenagers. Luckily, they all survived. Because of the events of that night, because Miss Villanueva died as a result of that collision, the state has charged Danny DeLuca with manslaughter in the 1st degree, felony. Under Oregon law, a person commits manslaughter when they recklessly cause the death of another person under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to the value of human life. Put more simply, you, the jury, will need to determine 1, if the defendant has acted recklessly, and 2, if the defendant caused Miss Villanueva's death. DeLuca's decision to text and drive, his deliberate indifference to the safety of his passenger and other drivers on the road caused the death of Miss Villanueva. We ask for justice today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.